Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar tonight. I'm really excited to share this information with you about our LifeVantage opportunity and also just to teach you about biohacking. Before we get started, though, I want to just share a little bit about myself. My name is Alisan Parnes, and I am a veterinarian. I have been practicing for about 16 years. I'm also certified in veterinary acupuncture, and I'm the mom of two amazing boys. And back in 2019, both of my sons were diagnosed with a genetic kidney disease. And my oldest son had a kidney transplant at 7 years old. And, as much as I love my job, I just found myself in a situation of having to choose between being with my family and my kids when they needed me most and having to go to work to pay the bills. And I felt horribly guilty about having to go back to work and not being able to be home with them as much as I wanted to. And I just knew that something had to change. I knew I just wanted to take control of my life. I didn't want anyone else owning my time, and I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to do that and still pay the bills. And I certainly never dreamed that LifeVantage would be the answer to that for me. But when this came to me 4 years ago, I was very curious, and I began researching, and I became passionate about the science behind these products. I saw results with my family and my patients that were just astonishing. And I just had to share this with everyone. And so 4 years later, here I am. And what this has done for our family has been invaluable. It has literally replaced my veterinary income. I've been able to earn a residual income with this company that has allowed me to stay home over the last year to homeschool both of my children. I was able to literally walk away from work last year when my younger son had a kidney transplant. And, the blessings to our family have just been something I never would have imagined. But what's incredible is it's also allowed me over the last few years to be able to help other people, not only with their health, but also take control over their finances. And so I am really excited to share with you tonight. That's why I'm here, because this very well may be for you also. And if it's not, that's fine. But you may know other people that would be interested that you can connect us with. So just let the person who invited you to this sort of know your thoughts and what this means to you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and what we're going to do, kind of go through a little PowerPoint presentation. So let me do that. Okay. All right, so we are talking about this company called LifeVantage, and we're going to talk about biohacking tonight. But what is biohacking? It means just taking control of your own biology. It's a pretty revolutionary idea. So first slide I want to talk to you about is this one, and these companies you may recognize. They're pretty big. And why do we mention it? Well, we're living in this sort of new time. The world has changed. We're in this new gig economy, which is basically something that people, instead of working these full-time permanent jobs, they're looking for freelance work, contract work. They're getting, they're looking for gigs. They're looking for a way to get money. And so these companies have really capitalized on this idea and have become massively successful. Uber has really changed the way that people get from point A to point B, and they're doing it, able to do it from their cell phone. Airbnb, same thing. It's changed the way the world sleeps at night. When they travel, hotels are no longer the only option. And people are becoming entrepreneurs by just renting out their guest room. Facebook has changed the way the world communicates, and Amazon has changed the way the world shops. So, why do we even talk about this tonight? Well, it's something that you can actually capitalize on this gig economy too. And the company that we are partnered with really has been able to capitalize on this because They've been able to incorporate things like apps and smartphone technology, but also a new technology in health and wellness that is just revolutionary, and it's something called nutrigenomics. So what are nutrigenomics? Well, by definition, this is the scientific study of how nutrition and natural compounds affect our genes, specifically when it comes to treatment and prevention of disease. It's pretty crazy. We have some incredible third-party validation on this too. The Today Show said that the latest trend in nutrition isn't just a fad diet or a newly discovered supplement, but it's your own DNA. And then Fox News said that nutrigenomics is changing everything. Where we once thought we were powerless is now an area over which we have at least some control. So the ability to use nutrition to affect our genes means we're no longer at the mercy of our DNA. So just because something that runs in your family, it doesn't mean that you have to get it. And then, looking at the projected market for this field, this nutrigenomics field, Market Research Future says that it's expected to reach over $17 billion by 2023. So that's 5 years from now. So you guys, this is something that everyone's looking for. There's so much hype going on right now when it comes to this, and this is what we are leading here at LifeVantage. So it's super exciting. So now let's talk about our choices, okay? We can choose to be hijacked, or we can become intentional biohackers. So what does hijacked mean? Well, it basically means that something is taking over for a destructive purpose, right? So our bodies are literally being hijacked 24/7, whether it be physically, working too many hours, not getting enough sleep, or emotionally, whether it's we're stressed out with our spouse or our boss or our kids, or we don't have enough work-life balance, or we could be hijacked biochemically by the things we put in our mouth, by toxins, pesticides, everything in our environment, from cell phones, EMFs, radiation, so many things that we're coming into contact with every day that are hijacking us. And so what can we do about this? Well, we can become intentional biohackers, as I said, which means essentially biohacking, it just means taking control of your own biology to optimize your genetic potential to become the best version of yourself. And we're doing this through what's called nutrigenomics, natural products, which is the best thing ever, okay? So let's, what I wanna do actually is show you a short video and just allows you to see how LifeVantage is bringing this whole revolutionary idea to the world in terms of biohacking and nutrigenomics. So let me play that video for you.
Have you ever upgraded your phone just because your old one couldn't keep up anymore? If so, did you know that by doing so, you unlocked the secret to awe-inspiring memory, metabolism, and energy? Well, let me explain. Your smartphone is a powerful supercomputer, a complex system of code and hardware working together seamlessly. Well, at least that's how it starts out. We all know the longer you use your phone, the slower it gets. The code from your new Angry Birds game interacts with the code from that new social media app, which interacts with the code of the photos you just added of your nephew falling into the cake at your cousin's wedding. Every keystroke, every swipe inputs code into that phone. And sometimes those interactions overload your old processor and an app crashes, or your once blazing phone slows to a painstaking crawl. So how does knowing that give you awe-inspiring memory, metabolism, and energy? Well, your body's a lot like that smartphone. It's also a complex system of code and hardware working seamlessly together. At least that's how it starts out. But like a smartphone, our bodies wear down over time. We're constantly inputting new code, from the food we eat, to the air we breathe, to the light in our rooms and everyday stresses that we put ourselves through. All of it is constantly programming and reprogramming our body. We can reprogram larger muscles through working out, or a spare tire with a few lines of donut code. All of that code interacting with each other means eventually we get bogged down. Our brains aren't as sharp. We have a harder time waking up in the morning. We put on weight. We need our bodies to beat smartphones straight out of the box, but they become more like the one we all have shoved away in a junk drawer. New research has confirmed that this is not a software problem, meaning it's not simply about trying harder or not being smart enough or something that's just part of, quote, who you are. This is a hardware issue. Which is great news. You don't have to accept these things as simply part of getting older. You can upgrade your hardware. So So why don't we? Well, scientists have been searching for years for that answer. But this isn't simply replacing a processor. Your processor is something called your microbiome, which is a vast army of bacteria that control your immune systems. And your battery is something called mitochondria, and you don't have just one. You have a few trillion powering you. Think of these like mini engines converting chemical fuel into energy to run your entire body. They also produce the materials that allow your cells to communicate. So every time your brain begins searching for an answer, focusing, or recalling a memory, that's them at work. And yes, they also happen to be the only place inside your body that can burn fat, so you can blame them for your slowing metabolism. Unfortunately, over time, most of these important processes can't keep up with the workload. And eventually, you start to feel sluggish, foggy, or out of shape. So if upgrading these processes is the secret to awe-inspiring memory, metabolism, and energy, what can you do? For the past 100 years, the best answer science could provide was supplements. Unfortunately, that was like fighting an out-of-control fire in your body with nothing but a Dixie cup. When your phone gets bogged down, you have two options: replace the phone or hack the processes to work like they were designed to. Well, replacing your body is not an option. But is it possible to hack the processes to work like they were designed to? Well, a few years ago, some scientists discovered something big, like Nobel Prize big. They discovered biohacking is possible. In fact, with the right natural compounds, our systems can be dialed back up. Our patented technology furthered the science in nutrigenomics and led to a flurry of research and publications from groups like Harvard, Ohio State, ABC Primetime, the National Institute on Aging, American Heart Association, American Journal of Physiology, Circulation, LSU, and more, all confirming the power of nutrigenomics to flip the switches in our genes. In other words, when you biohack your body so that your cells work like they're supposed to, your entire body's like Mario on that star thing. You have incredible energy, you have awe-inspiring memory and clarity, and the metabolism that your body deserves. It's a game changer. You feel like nothing can bring you down, not spinning turtles, man-eating plants, or giant bolts with mean faces. The suckers are bouncing off you and you're like, no big deal, got this. That's how you feel every day. Nutrigenomics is now being utilized by elite athletes, CEOs, and serious biohackers to gain an edge. Sad part is, there are millions of people going through life right now not having any idea what life is like on the Super Mario Brothers star thingy. They don't know what it's like to feel like a bag of awesome all day. So at LifeVantage, we sculpted a simple nutrigenomic starter kit to help you almost immediately get the benefits of mental clarity and focus, healthy metabolism, and increased energy. Things so vital, we call the kit our Vitality Stack. If you watch this far, chances are you're a biohacker at heart. So be one, put it to the test, discover what it's like to be Mario, to catch a glimpse of your potential, to have awe-inspiring memory, metabolism, and energy. But look, maybe that slowed-down iPhone 4 is your thing. Who are we to judge? But just think, if you love the feeling of a new phone, imagine how you'd love the feeling of a brain and body that work like they're supposed to. Because when you have that, there's no limit to what you can achieve. So get your Vitality Stack today and find out what it feels like to unlock your memory, metabolism, and energy. Let's see what's possible for you.
Awesome. Okay, I had this problem earlier. Let me figure out how to get into the next slide. Okay, sorry about that. Little technical difficulties here, but I love that video. It just like really makes it relatable as to what we're doing with nutrigenomics and biohacking. But this slide, we're talking about just health and wellness in general. And did you guys know that wellness is the fastest growing area in healthcare? I mean, that's insane, right? Like, it's always been about sickness and drugs to treat your illness and symptoms, and now people want to be well. They don't want to be on medications. They want to invest in their health, right? So over $500 billion are being spent annually on health and wellness products, and really it's broken down into these 5 categories. Over $300 billion spent in anti-aging products, $121 billion in skincare, $67 billion in supplements for your pets, $50 billion in energy products, and $37 billion in weight loss products. So a lot of money going into these different categories. And LifeVantage, the company we're going to talk about tonight, has perfectly positioned themselves to really capitalize on every single one of these major markets. So we're going to get a little bit into now the individual products and how they can benefit you, and how we are taking kind of over this field of nutrigenomics. So there are actually 4 products and 4 core products that we talk about to become really a major league biohacker. And these products are combined into what we call a vitality stack. So the first one that I'm going to talk to you about tonight is Protandim Nerf 2. This is our flagship product. This is something that the company first came out with in 2003. And what's so remarkable about it is, number one, it's made up of 5 herbs, natural ingredients that are combined in a synergistic ratio. And it's been clinically proven to reduce something called oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. So let's talk about oxidative stress for a minute, because this is really important to understand. Oxidative stress is free radical damage that's occurring at a cellular level, and it is the leading cause of aging and the root cause of over 200 common diseases, things like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, anything with inflammation, okay? So it is a big, big deal. There's so much research going into oxidative stress. How can we reduce it? And Protandim is the only thing that's ever been clinically proven in humans to reduce it to this degree. And it's also the only thing that's ever been shown to increase lifespan. And that is not my opinion. Actually, is a study that was a 12-year study that was done by the National Institute on Aging, where they looked at all these different products. And Protandim was the only thing that increased lifespan, and it was by 7%. So we're really getting at the root cause of aging and disease by activating a pathway in our body called NRF2, and this is what Protandim does. It's unbelievable. So again, you don't have to take my word for it. You can do the research yourself. If you go to pubmed.gov, which is the National Institute of Health website, you can type Protandim in, and you will see we have over 26 peer-reviewed studies that have come out of major medical schools, universities, third-party funded, not the company saying this, but these are, very reputable journals and institutions that are putting this information out. So you may recognize some of these, but Harvard University, Ohio State, the American Heart Association, tons and tons of reputable sources here that have funded their own studies on Protandim, which is unheard of, for a natural product. And it's on the finished product, not just the ingredients in the product. So there's a big, big difference. A lot of times you'll hear, oh yeah, this X, Y, and Z product has all this science behind it, but it's not the actual product. If you type that product name in PubMed, you won't find anything. It's usually on the ingredients, whereas this is on our Protandim Nerf 2 product, finished product. We've also had a lot of third-party endorsements from different media sources. It's been featured on NBC, PBS, ABC News, The Today Show, and even Dr. Phil. This product has 11 patents, national and international patents on it, so to protect the formula. And so really we have zero competition in this arena, which is just really awesome, in terms of, especially if you have a business, it's great to not have competition. So let's talk about our second product in the Vitality Stack, which is our Protandim Nerf 1 Synergizer. This is another product that is made up of 5 herbs that are combined synergistically, but this is targeted to our mitochondria to help increase our energy production, right, in our cells. Mitochondria are really, they produce 95% of our body's energy in the form of ATP to keep our body functioning properly. And as we get older, our mitochondria stop functioning as well. Some of them start to die. So what this does is it boosts a pathway called NRF2. It activates this pathway, which allows our mitochondria to reproduce. It repairs and rebuilds, and so therefore our body is able to produce more energy. Our cells are able to function better and communicate better. Therefore, our body works better. It's an incredible, incredible product. The third product in our Vitality Stack is our Physique Probiotic. This is one of my favorites. I've used probiotics for years, and with my family, but also my patients. And there's a big, big difference between probiotics that you will see on the market versus ours. And the biggest difference I would say is that in general, most probiotics out there only about 4% of the good bacteria that actually we want to get into our intestine actually get there alive, because our stomach acid kills it. And with ours, we have a protective coating on our probiotic that allows it to get through the stomach. The bacteria are able to survive. We have over a 60% survival rate for the bacteria being able to be delivered to the part of the intestine that we need it to be. And why is this important? You know, our microbiome, which is really responsible for how we digest and absorb nutrients, and that's really key. And it's also, you know, part of our gut brain connection. So it's where a majority of our immune system is housed. And so we need to take care of our microbiome. We need to replenish it with good bacteria, because if we have a healthy gut, we have a healthy brain, we have a healthy body. You know, it's really that simple. So I love our probiotic. It's really like none other out there. Anything that has to be refrigerated or in capsule form or powder form, the likelihood of any of that bacteria surviving to get where it's supposed to get is very slim. Like you see, less than 4%. And then our final product in our Vitality Stack is our Omega Plus. These are essential fatty acids that our cells need. You know, it's very important for brain health, heart health, skin, really our whole body. But what separates us is, number one, we have we're rich in omega-3s and omega-7s. We don't have a lot of the filler oils that many have, no extra omega-6s. So you don't get that, you know, burpy, fishy aftertaste when you take them. And it also has extra vitamin D3 added, which is super important because so many people are deficient in that. And my favorite thing is that it is clean. It's such a clean product. It has impeccable quality control. Literally every single bottle is 100% traceable from boat to bottle. So the fish are harvested out of Norway and Alaska. The boats have GPS trackers, so you can literally find out exactly where these fish were harvested and where these oils are coming from, which I don't know of any other omega out there that has that type of tracking. So to me, it's pretty incredible that we have that. So this rounds out our Vitality Stack, our 4 core products that we're, you know, really addressing oxidative stress, reducing that. We're increasing our mitochondrial production and boosting our energy. We're supporting our gut, healthy microbiome, and we're supporting our brains and hearts through the Omega Pluses. So it's a great, great stack, you know, that will literally help you become a major league biohacker, and it's only $150. It comes with free shipping. So all 4 of these products are just incredible, and really the core 4 is what we call it. We have some additional products that I do want to talk about as well, because these are also in the biohacking arena, and additional things that you can add to your regimen if you choose. So let's start with Axio. This is one of my all-time faves. Oh my God, I can't live without my Axio. In fact, I am drinking my Axio. This is a smart energy drink. It's literally brain food. It is, you know, I'm sure all of you have heard of the Monsters and the Rockstars and the 5-hour energies and all of that, right? Because people are tired. People want energy. I mean, you hear it all the time, how tired people are. Well, the problem with those energy products that are out there is that they are full of caffeine, they're full of chemicals, full of sugar, and so you might get this physical jolt of energy, but you also get jitters and you have a crash, and they're not healthy for you, okay? So what separates us is that this is a technology that's activating that NRF2 pathway in your brain. It's helping with mental energy. It's not a physical energy that most of us lack. It's the mental energy, right? We're all tired mentally. And so what this does is it activates that pathway in your brain, gives you better mental focus, concentration, and memory. It actually increases neurotransmitter function, so it allows your brain to communicate with your body better. It erases that brain fog, and it increases positive mood. Like, who doesn't want that? And then also what's really cool about it is all of our products have this BSCG labeling, which is the Banned Substances and Control Group for athletes. And so all of our products are safe for and approved for athletes, elite athletes to take, and it's free of anything artificial, no artificial coloring, flavoring, any of that stuff. And it comes in both caffeinated and decaf flavor or versions, and also different flavors. And it tastes delicious. You just mix it up with water and go. It's wonderful. All right, our next line is the physique system. We've already talked about the probiotic, which is part of our physique system, and it's for weight management. And what I love about this system is it's not about a quick fix, right? It's not one of these, oh, you take our products for 30 days, you're going to lose all this weight, right? It's not about just how much weight you lose, but it's how much you can keep off. So this program really educates you. It teaches you the importance of all these different steps. So cleansing in terms of getting rid of the bad bacteria, the probiotic, which means, helping your microbiome, putting in the good bacteria. And we have an incredible all-natural fat burn that has actually got studies on it showing how it targets the visceral fat or the toxic fat around our organs, which is really, kind of like around our midsection, right? And so look at these statistics here. We've got 263% greater reduction of waist size over the placebo. We've got 964% greater release of free fatty acids, which is our stored fat, over the placebo. We've got reduction of hip size, 262% over placebo. So incredible results here with our fat burn. And then we have the Physique protein shake or protein powder, which is phenomenal. It tastes amazing. So we've got an incredible weight management system for those people who are looking for something like that. We also have an amazing skincare line called True Science. And True Science was actually developed after Protandim Nerf 2 was put out, because there was actually skincare or skin cancer study done on mice at LSU showing that there was a link between mice developing cancer versus those who were taking Protandim in their feed. They saw a dramatic reduction in that. So the company actually came out with a skincare line, which is the same thing as Protandim Nerf 2, except topically. So it mitigates the visible effects of skin damage caused by oxidative stress. It's activating that Nerf 2 pathway on your skin, which is your largest organ. And, would you rather have a faster aging face or a slower aging face? I would rather slow it down. And we know that, activating this Nerf 2 pathway and reducing oxidative stress does that. So you can see the results over here. Some of the statistics: 87% had younger looking skin, 94% said their skin felt smoother, 88% said their skin was more luminous, and then 95% said their skin was more hydrated and moisturized. So these products are incredible. We've got a facial cleanse, an eye serum, a perfecting lotion, and then the anti-aging cream. They're incredible. They have no chemicals. They smell wonderful. They feel wonderful. And so I am like sold. This product is so amazing. I love it on my skin. And then lastly, for our product line, we have Pet Tandem. This is our animal line. This is Pet Tandem for dogs. And why is this important? Well, hello, I'm a vet. But no, we all love our furry babies, and we want them to live longer. We want them to be healthier. And, dogs age 7 times as fast as humans, right? And they're exposed to much, much higher levels of oxidative stress. They're, eating processed foods. Most of them are getting chemicals put on them or ingesting them every month to prevent heartworms and fleas. They're eating off the ground, and they're just exposed to much higher levels of toxins than we are. And so it's important to protect them, and try to reduce the amount of oxidative stress that their bodies are under. And what some of the benefits we can see in dogs is just an increase in vitality and cognitive function, especially for the older ones, a shinier coat, better skin, but joint mobility, just decrease in pain. Like I say, I do acupuncture, and a lot of these arthritic dogs that come into me, and I've seen incredible results with this product for my animal patients. And you can also give it to cats, you can give it to horses, really you can give it to any mammal. But this particularly is flavored for dogs and dosed for dogs, but there are definitely conversions that you can make for other animals as well, other species. So this wraps up our product line, and you know what I would recommend for anyone who wants to try our products. Obviously, the Vitality Stack is going to be the core for, and you get the free shipping, and then you can also add any other products on with that and still get the free shipping. But you can also choose your level of biohacking. You can order any of these products individually as well. So just get with the person who invited you to watch this, and you know, figure out which ones would be appropriate for you to start. Okay, so now I just want to switch modes a little bit and talk on the opportunity side of this, and just tell you a little bit about the company that is providing these amazing products for us. So as I mentioned, LifeVantage was started back in 2003, and they were selling Protandim Nerf 2, their flagship product. They were a very small biotech company at the time, and that was their only product. And they were selling it in retail space at GNC and health food stores and online. And the problem was none of the people that worked in the stores could really explain how Protandim worked, because it was a new category. It wasn't a vitamin, it wasn't a supplement, it's an activator. And no one really understood what that was in the retail space. And so unfortunately, the company was small, they didn't have a large advertising budget, so they just weren't doing very well with sales. Well, in 2005, an ABC primetime investigative report aired on Protandim, and it was positive, believe it or not. And this really brought the spotlight on LifeVantage and Protandim. And so it sold out all over the country in all the stores, and then the company was flooded with orders. Over $5 million in orders came in overnight. They are a publicly traded company. They had, you know, their stock went from $1 a share to over $20 a share overnight. And it was great, but the problem was the company was so small that they didn't have the infrastructure to meet that demand. And so what happened is they went on a 9-month back order, and the product didn't get out to the people who ordered it. And, you know, we're in a fast-paced society. Like, I like my Amazon Prime, you know, 2 days. Like, I want my stuff. Like, I'm not going to wait around 9 months for something. And so that's what happened, is people didn't get their product, they didn't get their orders, and unfortunately, all that momentum just died, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Finally, when the company re-released the product, put it back out on the shelves, it was just, the hype was gone. So again, it sat on the shelves for a couple of years, just wasn't selling. And the good thing about this ABC Primetime, though, is that a lot of doctors and scientists saw it. And that is actually how all of the research was started, is that they knew the significance of oxidative stress, and they saw this human study that showed a 40% reduction. They said, you know, if this is true, we want to study it over here at Ohio State and, you know, Harvard and all these different universities. So that's actually how all the research started, was through this ABC Primetime. But unfortunately, that information wasn't getting out to the masses. You know, the company knew they had a great product. They had all this research validating it, but they didn't know how to get it to the masses. So they called in the board of directors and a consultant and said, how do we get the message out? How do we share this with people? And immediately they said, you know, this has a story. You need to take it off the retail space, and you need to put it in people's hands. And that's what they did. In 2009, they switched it to direct sales, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. They put it in people's hands to share this story, much like I'm doing tonight. And it basically cut the middleman out of the retail stores and allowed people now to earn a leveraged income by sharing this information, educating others. And since then, the company has grown from over $3 million a year to over $200 million a year. And our corporate leadership has a wealth of knowledge and experience, over 100 years combined experience in the industry. And this company is going to be $1 billion company. So it's very exciting to see where things are going. These are some of the markets that we're open in now. Right now, we are open in 14 markets for distributors and customers, and an additional 7 markets for customers, which eventually will be open for distributors. And we also ship into mainland China through our cross-border e-commerce site. So this company is expanding globally. We're laying the foundation all over the world for biohacking, and super exciting. So, I heard a statistic once at a meeting that 80 to 90% of people in this company had never done network marketing before. And that was me. I had never done it, never knew how to do it, like not a clue. And the good thing is this company actually has an incredible system of training, and really, does what it can to provide us with everything we need. And so as a distributor, you have a free app. You download the LifeVantage app, and this app is really how we run our business. It is, pretty much anywhere you have Wi-Fi or cell phone service, you can run an international business. So it's designed to give you that cell phone or laptop lifestyle. And it also connects you with a team. You're not in business by yourself. Or you're in business for yourself, I should say, but not by yourself. You have a team of people here to help you. There's trainings on the app. There's trainings locally, regionally. We have a big calendar that all over the country you can plug into meetings. You can get the training you need. And it's really important to do that, because if you've never done something and you want to be successful, you have to learn how to do it. And so the company provides ample opportunity to learn that, and they offer many, many free opportunities and trainings to get what you need to be successful. You also get a replicated website that's free that you can share with your friends and family, or anyone who's interested in learning more about our company or our products. People can go and read about everything. They can shop directly from your website. You can actually share carts with people through the app or through this replicated website. So if someone wants to try, hey, I want to get on that Vitality stack, you can literally create a cart for them, shoot it to them either by text or email, and all they do is click on it, and it makes the enrollment process or the purchasing process super, super easy. So I love that feature. So now let's kind of delve into network marketing facts, because this is the thing that trips most people up, what that I found, and I get it. Like, I kind of was skeptical in the beginning too, but some of us kind of remember network marketing as like our parents or grandparents did it, way back in the 60s, 70s, and we think of the Amways and Mary Kays and that sort of thing. But that was network marketing 1.0. We are in network marketing 3.0 now. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I have had so many people in my life, friends, join different network marketing companies. You see it all over social media. It's just a huge trend, right? And if you look at the revenue, you can see just in the last few years, this industry is huge and it's growing. We're at $189 billion in 2017. This is bigger than the NFL. This is bigger than Hollywood. And why is it growing? Well, it's growing because of this gig economy, right? People are looking for a side hustle. You've got all these companies shutting down, going out of business, Toys R Us, Sears, the Radio Shacks, all these retail spaces that are now being replaced with things like Amazon. People are out of work, and and many of them can't find jobs, and they're looking to make money quick. And so this business is very appealing, this industry, because it's a low investment, it's a low risk, and it's got potential for very high gain. And people are making money in this industry. At $189 billion in revenue, network marketing companies as an industry, they pay out about on average of 40% of that to distributors and commissions. And so people are making money in this industry. And it's just a great way for people that don't have a lot of money to invest in starting traditional business, which costs an average of $65,000 a year, and you might not make a profit for 5 years. Whereas in this, like I said, it's a low investment and you can start earning money right away. So it is becoming an extremely, big thing in terms of what people are looking for. Okay, so now let's move on to timing. And this is really important when you're looking at any business opportunity. You want to look at the timing, because just like real estate is all about location, business is all about timing. So let's talk about this red curve. The red line here, this is actually called the bell curve, and this represents the behavior of people and how willing they are to adopt new technology, right? So if you look on the left side, you'll see that 2.5% are the innovators, right, of the population. These are people that are going to jump on board right away when something new comes out, and the rest are going to sit back and wait and watch, right? Then you've got the early adopters, which is a little bit larger percent of people, and then you get into the early majority, and then you start to see it starts to take off. As more and more people hear about something, then more and more people start to jump on. And then eventually it starts to, decrease. So if you think about this in terms of Apple, like the innovators would be people that had maybe an iPhone 1. I mean, anyone have an iPhone 1? Not me. If you did, you're an innovator. I think we came in around the iPhone 3 or 4. So, we're probably more of the early majority. But that was when iPhone was really taking off. And the people that are just now getting their first iPhone at the iPhone 10, these guys are like way past, like the peak here. They're what we call the laggards. So that's just sort of an interesting curve to show you about just people. And the blue line is the lifeline of a business. And this is any business. This is called the S curve, and it's from Business 101 of any business. And you start out, first 5 years, most businesses are just trying to get off the ground, get their product or get their customers, whatever they are, off the ground. And 80% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. But if you make it past that, you start to move up that blue line, you hit that little asterisk, and that's the beginning of momentum. Momentum is a really exciting place to be, because this is when a company goes from small to big. It's where 80% of the growth happens, 80% of the profits happen, and it's where the biggest payout is for people who have been in early and invested early, and help lay that ground floor. So, if you think about the people that invested in Apple, Microsoft, or Google, or whatever in the early phases before it was well known, versus if you try to invest in it now, you're really not going to benefit if you did that now. But think about if you did it early in the beginning and you were able to capitalize on 80% of the growth of that company. How huge is that, right? So that's really where we are with LifeVantage. I mean, you can see our little symbol there to the left. We are still on the ground floor. Less than 1% of the population knows about this company. It's phenomenal, because we already know that the expected market for nutrigenomics is over $17 billion in 5 years, and we're leading that field. So you guys, the timing couldn't be better. It's like insane to me, and it's so exciting. So for those of you who are possibly interested in the business side, you might be saying, well, how do I get started? So there are a couple of different options, but these are the two I'm going to talk about. One is the gold pack, which is $650, and the other is the platinum pack, which is $1,250. These are the business builder packs, which is why I'm choosing to talk about them. The only difference in them is in the amount of product you get to start. And the gold pack, you do not get all of the products. With the platinum pack, you get all of our products to try for yourself, to sample out to friends and family, you can sell some if you want. It's really not that many products, but it's a chance for you to just be open for business and to be able to have an experience with all the products yourself. But with that, you're getting a 30% savings. You're getting actually about $1,800 in products for $1,250, which is pretty darn good. You're also getting all of these assets here on the right. You're getting pretty much in business, ready to run with this pack. You're getting tickets to the corporate events. You're getting essentially access to the corporate staff, the production, the quality control, the shipping, the customer service. I mean, you don't have to stock product and sell it. I mean, you have a website, which you get as well. People go there, they order product, the company ships it, they send you a check. So they're handling everything in terms of the marketing, the legal, the accounting. So as opposed to, again, traditional business where it's $65,000 on average and you still have to deal with all this other stuff. So it's why it's very appealing to many people to be able to start a business. And all of this stuff is tax deductible. So anything you do for your business, you can write off. And I've done that with many times, going on different trips and, having some meetings here and there and been able to write off incredible vacations because I've done some business. And as a business owner with this company, you're able to do that. So how do you make money? Well, there are a lot of different ways to make money in this company. They pay out about 8 different bonuses, but I'll just sort of try to summarize, but they pay out weekly and they pay out monthly. So for weekly bonuses, these are what we call the Smart Start bonuses. This is like if you were to sign up and you get a customer or a distributor that signs up under you, you're going to get 40% of that first order. So if you have a customer that signs up with a $100 order, you're going to get 40% or $40 the next week. If you get someone sign up on a platinum pack, which is $1,000 in volume, product volume, you're going to get $400 that next week. So it allows you to make your investment back fast and still be able to earn money while you learn how to do this. And then you also get paid monthly on residuals. So this is something that, this is why we go into this industry. We want residual income, which means basically every time a product is getting shipped out, to a customer, you're getting paid. And, and most of these customers that come on board, they're getting products shipped to them every single month without you doing a thing. And you're getting a residual on that. So they pay out between 2 and 14%, depending on the different structures and the way levels. But they also pay out bonuses for you helping your team be successful. And then what's incredible is at the bottom here, this 4% global revenue sharing. I don't know of any other company that does this, like nuts to me. But what they do is once you reach a certain rank in the company, which is called the elite ranks, which is 7 through 10, they actually take 4% of the monthly global revenue and they put it into a pie. And then they share this amongst the elite distributors. So essentially, if you're a pro 7 through 10, you're sharing in global revenue, which it's sort of like if you were to get a penny on every Coke sold around the world. Like, can you imagine, right? So especially as this company continues to grow and like goes to $1 billion, like, can you imagine sharing in 4% of that? That is crazy. So it's huge. I mean, and really one of the richest compensation plans out there. They also here, if you see the Jeep, once you reach Pro 7, which is the first elite rank, and hold that for a year, they will actually give you a Jeep or $25,000 in cash. And there are some other options too that you can choose from, but just really nice bonuses and incentives here. So now this is our income earning statement from last year. This is, because we're publicly traded, completely factual. You can go look us up on the NASDAQ. Our stock ticker is LFBN. And what I love about this, if you look at the total annual payout, okay, these are based on ranks. So on the left-hand side, you'll see ranks Pro 1 through Pro 10. So that's all based on the amount of sales or volume of sales that is happening within your organization, okay? And so if you look at the total annual payout, you can see that the majority of the commissions are paid out to our middle ranks, Pro 4, 5, and 6, which is awesome because this comp plan is really designed to help create a rich middle class. And it also knocks that whole thing out of the water about people saying, oh, only the people at the top make all the money. No, you can see here the total payouts actually go to our middle ranks, which is pretty incredible. And if you look at their monthly averages, that third column over from the left, you can see just like our Pro 3s, $580 in residual income a month. I mean, that's a car payment. Pro 5s, $2,500 a month. That's a mortgage payment or utilities. And then as you start to increase and go up in rank, it becomes mind-boggling. The amount of money that you can make per month in this company. And it's great because $580 for a Pro 3, that could be life-changing for people. And I love that people can get that even in our early ranks. So I thought that was important to share. Okay, we're almost done. I have a few more slides here, but I did want to show you just the difference between a couple of different lifelines, okay? This is sort of this is a lifeline, and the top one is probably what we're most familiar with. It's what our parents did, our grandparents. It's what we probably have been on track for, and maybe we never knew there was another option. But essentially, both of these lifelines start out the same. The first 20 years, you're learning, you're growing. But then in the top one, you see, you might go to college or get a job. But most of us then will spend for the next 40 to 50 years working for a living, working for someone else, or maybe we own our own business, but we're still working for our business, right? We are a slave to our business in traditional business. And we do that 40 to 50 hours a week and eventually retire. The age that people used to retire was 65, and now the average is 73, which is nuts. And then you have the rest of your life after that to live the way you want to live and see the people, spend time with people you want to spend with, and travel if you have the health and the money to do that, right? And unfortunately, I know many people who get to that stage in life who are just, they're not able to live the life they want to at that point. Well, there is a second option, and I like this one much better, and it's the one that LifeVantage, that you can have with LifeVantage, and it's because of leveraged income. So again, we start out the same, the first 20 years growing and learning, but the next few years, short window, 2 to 5 years, which for most people in this business, are able to create and build a leveraged income that's going to pay them over and over and over the rest of their lives. And therefore, they can stop working and be able to have the rest of their lives to live the way they want to live and be with the people they want to be with and contribute in the way they want to contribute. And 2 to 5 years, I say, is really the commitment, and where people have done it. But even if it took you 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, it's a whole lot better than 40 to 50, right? So it's just, it's a different path and it's an option. And that's what I think it's so important for people to understand, is that there's trading your time for dollars, or there's creating leverage. And that's what LifeVantage can do, is help you create leverage so that you do the work once, you get paid over and over and over, and you can step off that hamster wheel and live the life you want to live. I love this quote and this idea of just never depending on a single income. Make an investment of time and effort to create a second source. So if you've ever gone through a job layoff, or your spouse or anything like that, you probably realize the value of having a second stream of income. We never want to put our financial stability into someone else's hands. You've got to take control, because corporations aren't loyal to you. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. We're seeing so many now with this economy change and technology replacing jobs. You guys, we have to have a plan B. And, something like this you can do part-time and build in the nooks and crannies of your lives while you're still working your full-time job. I mean, that's what I did. And as a result, 4 years later, I was able to leave my job to be with my family. And there's nothing more freeing and liberating than being able to make those choices for yourself and your family. Lastly, I just want to talk about LifeVantage legacy, because I think anytime you're considering partnering with a company, it's important to understand their mission statement. You want to know the corporate staff, the leadership, and know that they're ethical. And I absolutely love the culture of this company and our leadership, because they are truly committed to leaving a legacy around the world. They've partnered with so many charities. They literally every year go to Mexico and build homes for the homeless, and many distributors go and take their families and involve them in the process. They have built wells for people. They've funded thousands of surgeries for children in Asia with cleft palates. They have provided food for the hungry. They've supported the Wounded Warrior Project. And, every event we go to, there's a big drive to raise money for these charities. And you really feel like you're making a difference in the world. And the company is putting 100% of that money into these charities, into making a difference. So I love that about the company. And their mission statement is that they make people better. So by doing so, you make the world a better place. And that's truly what we do here with everything, from our products to our culture. So with that, I want to thank you guys so much. I'm going to stop my screen share. Thank you so much for joining me and for listening. If you've made it this far, I'm stoked for you. Just get back with the person who invited you to this and let them know how and if you want to get involved with LifeVantage, whether it be just to try some of our products, or if you're interested in the business opportunity, just let them know your interest. And with that, I will close and wish you all a wonderful evening or day or whenever you're watching. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night.